All right, so we're going to check out the books that I think are worthwhile for final order cutoff of September 17th, 2023. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thanks for joining yet again here at Team Ohana. I run through every week the final order cutoff on Previews World in case you have hooked up with your local comic shop, LCS, to books that, just in case you missed it, I think that these might be worthwhile. Um, Historically, I've always just purchased all these books myself, but I need to start cutting back a little because the stacks are getting a bit high. I'm recommending a lot of different books and buying all these books, and I really want to try to limit more. I'm getting too many boxes here, and I'm going to get in trouble. So, all right, so let's jump right into it. In the category of Image Comics, actually, I only see Reading Black number 26, cover A and cover B. Not that big on Radiant Black, but in case that's for you and you're not subscribed to it, don't forget to order that. It's the only book that's appearing in Image. Jumping into Boom Studios, there are two books that are interesting. We're going to see, okay, here we go. Berserker, Pen and Ink, number 1. And there's a couple different covers here, but the cover A looks pretty good. It looks like I don't know if it's a new story or if it's reprinting in black and white, or if the original was black and white. I have copies. I never read it. But also there's a brand new commentary inside the book. So if you're a Berserker fan and you want to get the commentary and pick up this, I don't know the investability of this book. I know we have that Netflix studio thing coming out soon, but remember the cover A, the original one, it was so highly printed, so highly printed. The other book that I see, which is listed as one of the previews guide picks, it's the Hunt for Skinwalker number 2. Remember the first one came out. It's a pretty good story. I think this is a 4-issue series, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please forgive me and just drop it in the comments down below. But I believe it's just a 4-issue series from Boom Studios. And other than that, there's not too much from Boom that I think is really awesome. But let's get on to the next one. Jumping right into DC, we have the Green Lantern number 4 from the new run. Now this is the cover B. Okay, cover A is okay, and if you read a Green Lantern story, grab it, please. But I really like this cover B. The green of the Green Lantern. You think? It really works, and I love when you can make a comic book that is such perfect shading that white actually looks like light, like there's a flashlight coming through it, and that really does look like the hand is lit up. And all it really is just the color white. Plus, this is a great cover to get signed if you meet this artist. You see how you get a monotone area and you can get a contrast perfectly with a great marker. If you get a green marker to sign in one of those white areas, that would also really pop too. But I would say like you go with a yellow, or even if you wanted black on the light green of his costume, or across. I'm pointing to it like you could see it. The light areas. That's a really great book. I love the cover on this, and I do love the ability to get that one signed. A couple other books that coming out, but nothing really popping for me. I do see that there is a Wesley Dodds Sandman number 1. Now this is the Golden Age Sandman, the one that we were introduced to in Night Terrors. Well, not introduced to, but reintroduced. Got a lot of positive reactions, so I don't know if they did that specifically so they could set this up. But it's a number 1, and it's $3.99. So for $4, you definitely want to give that one a shot to see if it's a good story. And there is a cover D foil, which it's not a Virgin because it does have the DC logo on it. You can see that there in the corner. But I think that would really look good. But that one's $5.99. I've gotten one of these just so I can check it out. I think they're oversaturated in the market with foil. But I think that one's going to look nice. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, as we jump into Marvel, I'm going to let you right now. There's a bunch of tabs I got open on here for Marvel. But the majority of them are one particular book and all the different variants. Not that I'm saying that they're all worthwhile, but just want to point them all out. First one, since we tried to go in alphabetical order, is the Crypt of Shadows, number 1. This is, I see once more as All Hallows Eve draws nigh. I love when they use the word nigh. It's near. We're getting close to Halloween, so you're going to have a Halloween-ish book. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but I'm going to pick up a copy probably just so I can, have a little Halloween story to read. But for those of you that are into that, there you go. We got a $5 Crypt of Shadows #1. Moving next onto the list, we've got It's Jeff #1, third printing. This one is Hero variant. I'm not sure on the printing, the pronunciation of that. I'm sorry. But it looks like it's got multi panels on it and the barcode in the bottom left, which is kind of interesting. I know Greg will probably grab that because he loves getting 2nd, 3rd, 12th printing, 500th printing, whatever. That's right up his alley. And any of you that are interested in that, then there you go. Next one is probably going to be the one that's everybody's going to be buzzing about and shelves are going to be full of. This is going to be a very highly ordered comic book. We'll see what happens. But we've got Spider-Boy comes to his own series here. Spider-Boy #1. This is the cover A, and I have a couple copies of this ordered. There are a lot of different covers of this. Not a terrible amount like they usually have, like 75 different covers. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 covers, that's manageable. It's manageable. Let's see. Let's run through some of the covers here. We have the 1 in 50 David Aja variant. Now, I'm okay with it. I'm not overly, like in love with it. The one thing I do like about it is the buildings in the background here. That kind of reminds me of the Spider-Verse art. The Miles Morales Spider-Verse art. So, that's kind of cool there. I like that, but for a 1 in 50 of #1, I would have thought that he would have done a little bit better on this. Well, something else on this. I'm not overly crazy about it. Jumping back real quick to that 1 in 50. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of copies ordered, so expect every store to have like 5 copies, 10 copies of that 1 in 50. Right. We've got the Chris Campana, however you pronunciate it. Pronounce. Spider-Boy #1 here. This one I'm okay with, out in the top half and the bottom half of the gargoyle. Like 2 sides of the same coin. Okay, we'll see. Not overly in love with this. I am ordering this one. For me, negative space variants are really hit or miss. I like this one. This one just kind of hits it for me. So I'm ordering the John Tyler Christopher negative space variants of Spider-Boy #1. Let's see what else we got here. Care Andrews foil. Now, I don't know if I like this cover, and I don't know if I would like it even more or even less or whatever in foil. So, to me, the verdict's out on this one. The Luciano Vecchio homage variant. This is an homage of Spider-Man #1. This is cool. I like this. I like this a lot. And what's really cool, it's not just Spider-Boy in there, but you've got Spider-Man down below looking up like, hey, aren't I supposed to be in there? That's a cool homage. I like that. And, of course, it wouldn't have a comic book with multiple covers if we did not throw in the Scotty Young. Honestly, I don't like this Scotty Young at all. I'm sorry. His face doesn't... I mean, I understand it's supposed to be cartoonish, but it doesn't even look right. It looks like he's got 4 eyes. I don't know what it's... No. Don't like it. Sorry. So for me, it's a pass. Hard pass on the Scotty Young for Spider-Boy #1. As far as other books, there is one other, guess what? Another Spider book coming out. And we've got Spine-Tingling Spider-Man #1 coming out. We'll see how this terror continues for the web slinger. After a fight with Spider-Side, Spider-Man gets taken on the most terrifying ride of his life. If you think you've already read the scariest Spider-Man story ever, you may stand corrected after this one. Oh, what are they going to say? Oh, no, this is the second scariest. Yeah, of course. They got to try to push the envelope. I get it. Other than that, not too much coming out from Marvel that really intrigues me. continuing series. There are a few posters that if you're into posters, there is the X-Men 141, the Days of Future Past one with the, I can pull that up for you guys actually. View all, it was all the way at the bottom. I thought it was, what it really thinks is it's the facsimile poster. It would have been nice if that had a barcode for 24, 2 foot by 3 foot poster. Why can't you have the barcode and make it look like the original? But still, that would actually look really cool on a wall if you're into posters. So for $8.99, there are some other posters for sale. I think that one's the best. So let's see what else we got. Jumping right into Dynamite Comics, there are actually a couple of interesting books. One is, I've always been an Army of Darkness, Evil Dead fan, and there's a new run of Army of Darkness Forever, that's coming out. Now, I'm not buying it to read. So I'm looking at the cover B, which I'm probably going to order, because at some point in my life, I would love to get a signed book by Bruce Campbell. And have him sitting there, with his boomstick and his chainsaw. It's really, really good. There's a bunch of other covers, but they're all very dark, and I don't think that they would show well for an autograph. So for me, it's not great. The other two that would work, one is standard, of course, white blank cover, and it says Army of Darkness Forever. Now, just the title just kind of says like, hey Bruce, Army of Darkness Forever, man, forever. That's cool, but they have another blank cover that I'm not used to seeing, and I'm ordering this one. It's in gray. And I would love to have him sign this in blood red, and this would work to have an interesting sketch, like a hand of a dead-eyed or something like that. So I want to get this gray cover, because I just think it would work great as a background, and it would pop certain colors of signatures. So let's see how that is. The only other one is, if you're interested in it, I'm not saying you have to be, but there's a brand new run of the Garbage Pail Kids coming out. Yay! Garbage Pail Kids Through Time, the cover A bunk. This would look like it's like Times Square or something like that. It's got all of the different Garbage Pail Kids, and there's a ton of different covers on this one, with one of the Garbage Pail Kids with a Rubik's Cube as a head, and again, the trading cards were fun back in the day, and seeing some of the disgusting things back in the day. I don't know if it translates well to a comic book in 2023. But nostalgia-wise, if you want to get a laugh and remember your childhood, that might be a good book for you to order. Okay, jumping into the category of other comics, which is like every other title. I'm going to break this into the A through M and then N through Z, because I got too many tabs up here, just letting you guys know what's coming out. From Image Comics, we have A Haunted Girl, a 16-year-old Japanese American whose depression drove her to near suicide. Apparently she thinks she sees ghosts, and then they are ghosts, or we'll see how this goes. I believe this is also a miniseries. Yeah, it says miniseries premiere. Don't know how many issues, but it's an ongoing, obviously. A new one from Scout Comics, A Haunting on Mars. A couple of different covers on this, but this one kind of reminds me of the old Fear and the Crypt Keeper books. A lot of those are getting homage a lot lately. But we'll see how this is. Mars is a wasteland, a dead colony. I guess Elon Musk's plan didn't work. Anyway, wouldn't be the first. I mean, there's been movies about ghosts on Mars and stuff like that, but we'll see. Scout Comics usually doesn't hit home runs, but eventually one's got to hit, right? Now this one's interesting. It looks like it's a one-shot. There's only one cover, but it is $13. Just be aware of it, guys. It says for fans of the magical girl manga. So manga is becoming more mainstream here in the U.S. And I'll be the Soul Sender from Titan Comics. I haven't decided yet whether or not I want to drop the $13 on this. Also, the shape almost makes it look to me like it might be a little oversized. So grading might also be, like magazine size or something like that. I don't know. It just looks a little bit off on the size. And for $13, it better be a thick book. Remember, though, if you're reading a true manga, you read from the back to the front. I'm going to keep that tab open because I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to order it. New one from Dark Horse, Canary from Scott Snyder. We got another series here. 1891, a mine collapsed into itself. It was a dark substance found 666 feet underground. Wow. What a coincidence. Happens to be that depth, right? Blending modern horror, historical fact, and Western lore. So, interesting with that. Scott Snyder and Dan Panosian have created a uniquely terrifying thriller with Canary. During the final days of the gold rush, one mining company in Colorado pulled up radioactive uranium. Is there any other kind of uranium? And then the mine then collapsed on itself. Judging from the other covers, I think it looks like they're zombies or demons or something like that. And they're 666 feet underground. What do you think is going to be there? I mean, seriously, if you're digging and you find something odd at 666, you might say, you know what? I've read this in too many stories. I'm not pulling it up. Okay. You know what? I'm going to have to move this one. What did I do? Oh, I can move that to a separate tab. Oh, that works too. Boom. Now I can still see it. Creepshow, number 2. Now, this is a 5-issue series, and the artwork on the cover looks really amazing. But really, really, really want to specify on this is, if you're into this, great. If not, just don't forget tomorrow, September 18th, if you're watching this later, 7:45, we're going to be going live with our cover price top 10 review. Hopefully it's up. But at the same time, we're going to have a live guest, and that is Deacon Pecoris. We've had him on the show before, and he actually did one of the covers for Creepshow number 1. I mean, look at this. This is so awesome. So, yes, we're going to have him on the show. And honestly, the reason I have this nice signed book here, as you can see, is because we're going to be giving this one away to one of the live streamers. So if you want to get a signed copy of an incentive book just for hanging out with us and asking questions to the artist, and at the same time, we're going to go through the top 10 and talk about them, whether or not we think they're crazy or not. Please don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Set your reminder for the live stream Monday the 18th, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. And at the same time, don't forget to pick up Creepshow and order Creepshow's Deacon Pecoris. We have a new one from Image Comics, Destiny Gate, number 1. I started reading the description, wasn't like, ooh, so I stopped. But life, for most, it's a product of decisions you make. For some, a wrong decision or two or more leads to crossroads on the other side of the Destiny Gate. Do you fight for a chance to survive and to start anew, or do you succumb to your inner demons and end it all? And worse, yours? I don't understand that. In the opening tale, we meet Mitchell Slate at the height of the Great Depression, down on his luck and heading home to a disappointed and desperate family. Mitchell's train ride veers off the rails and transforms into a macabre and darkly fantastical journey into his own fragile soul. It kind of reminds me of the movies Mr. Destiny. I think there were 2 of those. Where you take a trip looking back at your life and wonder if you had made different choices. I don't know. But if you're into those kind of stories, there you go. Again, cover A, couple different covers on that. We've got Dwellings, number 2. And this is the cover A. It's a 33 parts. Remember, this is a thick book. They're $10 each. But this cover, this looks just like the cover A of the number 1, which it was doing pretty, well. I don't know if it's still highly in demand. But if you like that story, number 2 is coming up. Hellboy, giant robot Hellboy. Hellboy is kidnapped and placed inside a giant robot of himself. It's kind of like Mechagodzilla with Hellboy. And yeah, as you can see, I ordered a copy. Kilmore number 2 is coming out. Kilmore number 1 went over very well. If you are looking forward to it, this is your time to order number 2. Kill Your Darlings. Now this is the number 1 second print. If you missed it, or if you're into second printings, Kill Your Darlings number 2, which is actually the same as number 1 with just different color schematics. We'll go with that. Midlife Hero at 50, number 1. Now, from Image Comics. Personally, I read a synopsis on this. I am not interested in this book at all. I'm sorry. Apparently, it is a firefighter for the Los Angeles Fire Department who is afraid of fire. And all he does is push papers. He's a paper pusher. And his new wife gets pregnant at the age of, when he's 50. And a random act of courage reveals that Ruben is fireproof. So then I guess that is a 50-year-old firefighter who finds out he's fireproof, and now he's going to be a hero. But for all these years that you've been on the fire department, you've been letting other people go in. And again, I'm not interested in this, but if it sounds interesting to you and you want to pick it up and read it, report back to me. I'm a fool for not reading it. By all means, be my guest. Miracles, number 1 of 4, second printing. This is from CEX Publishing? Yeah, CEX Publishing. Kex. I don't know how you pronounce it. A second printing of a story. If a story does turn out to be good and gets noticed or picked up or optioned, I don't see the second printing being a very high print run on a company like this, so this may be a sleeper, but for $7, there's too many sleepers out there that I'm not going to risk on. Mitch, number 1, cover A from Scout Comics, is another new run from Scout. And then, of course, we do have My Little Pony, number 1, The Best of Applejack. And it's such a cute cover. Not for me. So, if you're a My Little Pony fan, or you have some My Little Pony fans in the family, and you want to pick them up a comic book just to surprise them, a brand new run, The Best of Applejack, that could be a cute little Christmas present, even a stocking stuffer. We'll see how that goes. Now let's move on to the second half of the alphabet. Okay, home stretch. Here we go. Starting off letter N, Night of the Living Dead, Kin. A lot of different covers on this one. But this is a new run. It's coming from American Mythology Productions. They do a lot of horror stuff, obviously. Just hence the name. But for fans of Night of the Living Dead, we've got a new run there. And where'd my cursor go? You jumped on the wrong screen. That's why I couldn't find you. Hey. There is a photo variant, and there is another photo variant, which is a picture not available yet. I hate when they don't have a picture available on final order cutoff. You figure it would have been submitted and up already. However, just to make sure you know, that is how I was able to get my timeless Miss Minutes cover. 6 of them I bought because I wanted to get timeless number 1, and I didn't like a single cover. So I bought the one like, well, I don't know what that looks like, but it can't look any worse than all the others. And it turned out to be the Miss Minutes one. So I was very happy about that one. Sometimes it works. Nightcrawlers number 1 from Ablaze Comics. Boo, 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 boo. Now this one is listed as a like a hot pick, or recommended pick by previous guide. So that means that everybody's going to click on it, and there'll be a lot of copies. It's from Image Comics, called Knights. It makes supernatural creatures exist among common folk, and America is comprised of just 31 states. It's 2003, and it says, a new version of urban gothic adventures starts here. Youth is wasted on the young. So it's another Image run. We'll see how it goes. And I don't know. It says new ongoing series. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a limited series. It may actually have some legs. So he must have some good, a good length of stories still in his head. From Fair Square Comics LLC, Little Rock Files. Now, this is a $10 book. Straight out of the pages of Noir is the New Black hit anthology. I don't know it. I'm sorry. But if you're fans of Noir is the New Black, they have a new book called Little Rock Files. There are, I think, 3 different covers of that. This is the cover A, Little Rock Files. Another anime-ish, inspired, I guess you'd say, we have a graphic novel called On the Way. This is coming from Ablaze Publishing as well, but it is $20. So if you are interested in these kind of books, this is on the final order cutoff. Another one from Ablaze Comics, but this one only being $13, is 100 Tales. And you can see, we've got the little hidden Mickey there. a couple other things that are hidden. But let's see, what else do we have? We have Saint Seiya. Now, this is from Ablaze Comics. Knights of Zodiac Time Odyssey #1. I don't know if this is an ongoing or limited series, but this one is much more affordable at only $3.99. So I believe I've ordered a copy of this just to see how it is. I'm willing to drop $4, not 20. So this is a great book. This is a great book if you have kids or know of kids that you just can't get them to read, and you know they're young readers are just learning, but you can't get them to focus. The World of Reading books are designed to write stories that will keep kids engaged and strengthen their reading skills. They have a Star Wars Meet the Galactic Heroes. It's granted, it is $9, but it says 5 books in one. So this is coming from Disney Lucasfilm Press. I didn't even know Disney Lucasfilm had a press. I think I'm going to order a copy of this because just looking at the pictures on the cover, I would actually love to get autographs on this book. I think it would look great, and I would go for the animated voices. I'm not looking for Mark Hamill, but more like, you know, the voices. I don't. Do you get the kid version? No, I'd have to find out if there is even is a animated Luke, but I know there's an animated Leia, R2, Obi-Wan, Padme, no, not Padme, Rey. I don't know. I think I'm going to get a copy just for possibilities in the future. But again, this is a great book, stocking stuff for something to give you a kid or a kid that you know. Go for it. We have Witch Hammer from American Mythology Productions. Again, another horror-ish film, comic book. The art looks on the cover, and I don't know if it's going to do anything, but just pointing it out to you. $5 and grab a copy of that. We do have Witch of Mine. Now this is trade paperback volume #2 from Ablaze Publishing at $20. So if you picked up #1 and you enjoyed it and you want to continue, this is where you are going to get #2. That's it for the comic books, but there is one other thing that you will find on your if you scroll all the way to the bottom, trading cards. And I'm actually ordering a box of this. We have the 2023 Star Wars Chrome Black. Okay, a box. And the box is $120. But you do get random, you know, you can't have a chance of getting autographs. And I love some of the autographs in here. Don't do it to, you know, a squiggly line. Like, you can tell people like, I have to sign 500. This is my heartbeat. I'm trying to stay alive. There are times when you get actors and actresses that will spend the time to make a beautiful autograph and make you feel like you pay, you got your money's worth for the $100 or whatever it is that you paid for them to squiggle their hand. There are other times where it's like they're going through the motions. They don't care, and that bothers me. That does. I'll give you an example of one of my favorite autographs. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but this is Ashley Eckstein's. Look at that, a giant A, then she writes Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano. So that person took the time and understands that the fans, she really means something to the fans. And she wants to keep it that way. She wants to say thank you. So, Ashley, if you're watching, which I doubt, but thank you. So that's all I actually have on the this week's Final Order Cutoff that I think is really worth looking into. If you feel that I've missed something or I missed a boat on something, please drop it in the comments down below. Not just for me as a benefit, but for everybody else that reads the comments. If you know of a book that's coming out and you think it's worth jumping onto, let everybody know. And if you see that I've listed something that you think is going to be a flop, throw it in the comments also. Say, look, you're way off on this. Don't get this book. It's overprinted. It's going to be horrible. I've read this. I know the artist, and he picks his nose. I don't care. Just give us some information. We love it. We're here to share it because we are one big comic family. Guys, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Don't forget to drop a comment down below. And please check out our other offerings that we have a podcast where we do our back issue book club. We're going to be recording 8 Billion Genies series today. Got to read that still today. We've got our Patreon, of course, where you get, it's only $3 a month. You join us at Team Ohana on Patreon. You get a lot of bonus content. You get bonus books, book giveaways every single month. $3 and you're getting books. Come on. We have Instagram at Team Ohana Family. I've got the Cartersville Comic Con I'm going to be doing on October 14th. It's a Saturday. It's Cartersville, Georgia. It's north of Atlanta. It's a smaller show, but what the heck. I'm just looking forward to having some fun. And if you have anything else that you'd love to join us for, New Comic Book Day, the live stream that's going on tomorrow, the 18th, with Deegan Pecoris on the Cover Price Top 10 review. We're just having a blast here on the channel, and we're glad that you're with us. And until we see you in that next video, which better be tomorrow, because we're counting on you guys being there. Mahalo.